The buyer's hands trembled when the folder opened. We sat in the back of a coffee shop off 8th and Holden, two laptops between us. Mine, scuffed, dented, and ancient. Dad's. Theirs, sleek, new, humming like it belonged to someone who hadn't just been cut out of a $22 million inheritance. I only noticed their face after the click, the moment the screen lit up and that folder blinked into view. Project Phoenix. Something in their expression cracked. Not fear, not awe, recognition. They leaned back slowly, skin drained of color. "Do you know what this contains?" My throat tightened, but I didn't speak. Not yet. I let the silence spread. Let them feel it too. They reached for the laptop like it was holy, or radioactive. I watched, still, detached. Because the part that shook me wasn't the folder. It was the password that opened it. Mom's birthday. But the year was wrong. Not the year she married Dad, the year she left him. The will was read in a stiff, wood-paneled room that still smelled like Dad's cologne. James and Connor sat upright, smug in tailored suits. Mom didn't come. She hadn't spoken to Dad in 8 years. When the attorney read it aloud, I heard the numbers, but felt nothing. James and Connor, full control of Argentech. I got a nod in the form of a dusty ThinkPad. For the computer nerd. James chuckled, nudging Connor. I didn't react. Not there. But when I turned on the laptop that night, the fans wheezed and the login screen blinked. Password hint. Her name, then the year it all changed. That was the moment the walls inside me shifted. Dad had kept something from them. From us. Not because I was the favorite, because I was the one who watched. The one who remembered silence like most people remembered lullabies. I logged in. The desktop was empty. No documents, no apps, just that folder. Locked, encrypted, waiting. For 5 days I didn't sleep. I copied the folder onto an external drive. Started working on the encryption at night, pretending to job hunt during the day. James sent me a message once. No hard feelings, right? Dad just knew who could handle real business. I didn't reply. I started digging. Old emails Dad had saved offline. Dozens of PDFs. Engineering blueprints. AI model drafts. Patent applications. But buried between them, a file named px_test_control7.log. It didn't read like code. It read like confession. System logs. Dates, names, and a list. People who'd been paid off, NDA contracts, political donations disguised as consulting fees. The last name on the list was a match to something I never should have seen. An old legal document from when I was 16, the night Mom disappeared without explanation. It wasn't a divorce, it was a settlement, and her signature wasn't on it, only Dad's. And James's. The same year Project Phoenix had been registered under a shell company. She hadn't left. She'd been erased. The buyer was ex-military. You could tell by the way they scanned the room before plugging in the laptop. When the folder opened, they froze. Then, calmly, they leaned across the table. "This is worth more than you can imagine." I looked at the screen, emotionless. I can imagine a lot. They offered a number. I didn't flinch. I wanted verification, not money. They gave me 5 hours. And in those hours, I watched them scroll through a legacy my brothers thought they inherited. An AI defense system disguised as market prediction software. Prototypes that hadn't just been designed, they'd been tested on real people, vulnerable people, manipulated into behavioral trials without consent. I printed 2 files, just 2. One labeled Behavioral Deviation Terminated Subjects. The other, a photo of Mom from 6 years ago, alive, but institutionalized. I didn't call. I walked into the boardroom mid-meeting. James was standing. Connor had that fake grin he used on investors. I dropped the 2 files on the table. Watched their faces as they flipped them open. Connor went white. James didn't speak, just stared. I said nothing, until they looked up. "You knew she was alive," I said. Calm, measured. Connor tried to reach for the papers. I pulled them back. "You signed her away. Signed me away. And for what? This company?" No response. "You think you inherited something. You didn't." I slid a USB drive across the table. "The real legacy's already gone. Sold it this morning. Buyers offshore. And they know what you did." Connor choked. James finally spoke. "You wouldn't." I smiled. "I already did." Then I turned and walked out. I didn't go home. I took a train north, somewhere quiet, left the phone behind, left the name too. Mom's real name was on that photo, the one they tried to erase. I found her, didn't speak, just watched from across the garden. She was humming to herself, rocking slowly, safe, in a place with locked gates and no memories. She didn't see me, didn't need to. She'd been erased. Now they had too.